So again, what I'm talking about is this practice, right? So, and this again is a modernized version that I created of a medicine wheel. Does that kind of make sense? Does that look like it could be, right? So, what we're doing is we're walking inside. So this second stage that I've been talking about is a tough stage. In the second stage of learning, it's unconscious. Actually, it's conscious incompetence. So we're becoming aware of our behaviors. And we're beginning to create the strength and the practices to get us through into the third stage. What happens in the third stage? We begin to feel a sense of relief in the third stage because we've been practicing long enough that now our practices are becoming more ingrained. That ritual is beginning to become ceremony. Habit is beginning to be formed that's positive. And now we're moving into the third stage, which is conscious competence. And when you get to that stage, you suddenly feel a sense of relief. It's as if you got the wind at your back. I hear people when I work with people, and I've worked with people for about 8 years on behavior change. And when they get to that third stage, I hear it, they say they can feel a sense of relief. And I think it's pretty exciting because now those practices are starting to come home to roost. It's a very powerful feeling. We've been working with these three elements here: duty, devotion, and purpose. So what's duty? Duty is actually a commitment to ourselves to actually unfold our purpose, unfold our gift. The devotion is the practice over time. You make a commitment over time. And there's a sense of trust in this practice. It's as if I know that if I just do this, the result will occur. Purpose is actually the thing that stimulates the whole process. So what it does, it creates a cycle. I call it an intention cycle. So between that duty, devotion, and purpose, you create a wheel that starts turning inside you that says, and we can look at ourselves, and I'm out here, I've got different modules now: creation, development, fulfillment, completion. These are actually resource modules. I'm going to pull things on a specific nature. People come to me and they say, I'm working on this issue or that issue. Some of these are going to be things that we could all use, and others are going to be specific to the individual. So when you walk into the wheel, you go there to essentially find out where you are. Are you in this stage of creation, development? Where are you in your process? And when you're in that part of the process, then you can access tools from that part of the process to help you to move forward. So if you looked at it from a Native American perspective, this would be spring, summer, fall, and winter. Okay, so you've got your seasons are just flowing naturally. And in each of those is a different energy, a different dynamic. Now, we're moving towards winter, aren't we? Did you feel it this morning? It was cooler. And we're starting to feel that. When we shift, and my intention is to do a workshop specifically to this, where what we'll do is we'll create intentions to move into 2015 with a new energy. It's the perfect time of the year as you go into, late fall, and then as you start into early winter, to begin to create those intentions. We're still at the tail end of the celebration right now. We're still, in a sense, reaping the benefits of the harvest and all of that. And then we shift into the next phase very shortly. But any one of us can be in any one of these phases at any time. And what we'll do is we'll find, when we work together, find the tools to pull out of those specific modules in order to help us to move to the next phase. So the third stage is conscious competence, and we've been working with duty, devotion, and purpose to get there. Now those are wonderful tools. Duty, devotion, and purpose are amazing. But from a tribal structure, and my teacher had said this to me, he said, James, you're doing really well with that. And he says, did you know that's the adolescent model? And I was like, I must have been close to 40 years old. I was like, what? It's kind of a tough thing to look at, but really, it's just an energy, right? And so what happens with duty, devotion, and purpose is we move from there into courage, conviction, and strength. Those are actually the adult models of behavior change. Those are when we're walking with these elements. Now I'm walking. I've been practicing duty, devotion, and purpose for long enough that I'm now getting a sense of who I am and what I stand for. That's where I wrote on the back of my book, I was talking about a move from I to we consciousness. So, as from being, in a sense, the isolated individual walking, outside the wheel, to being a full member of my tribe. Who's my tribe? The tribe of heart. All of you are my tribe. Everybody who chooses to risk and chooses to walk with their heart open is automatically in that tribe. We're all in it anyway. We just need to wake up to it. So that's what I'm talking about when I say standing as an adult is courage, conviction, and strength. What's courage? Courage is the power to stand up. Just to stand up and be strong. To support not just my beliefs. It's important to, as you grow and develop, to have strong beliefs. But it goes even beyond that. There's something beyond belief. And it comes from here. My teacher used to call it your true truth. And we can learn to speak from our true truth. We speak from our heart. And that's a practice, isn't it? What happens sometimes when we speak from our heart? We don't get rewarded for it, do we? We speak from our heart, and somebody, what do? They step on our words oftentimes. So, I'm telling you, it's not an easy thing. But there are actual parameters to that. There's a way to learn to speak from our hearts. I can't do it all in a 25-minute talk. But that's why we engage in that practice. And we learn, when I talk about holding the fan, that's one of those practices. And we learn in a protected space to speak our hearts. And then from there, we learn how to protect our heart when we're in a space that may not be, the same kind of space. And people will respect you, but you've got to respect yourself first. People will honor that. But first, we've got to respect ourselves. And that's where that courage and conviction and strength come in. Conviction is just that real strong inner belief that what I'm doing is my truth. Willing to stand up and honor that. And the strength I talked about before and asked people, I always use the samurai sword as an example of strength. And it's not because just of the high tensile strength of the metal. What's another attribute of the samurai sword? It's not only strong, but it's flexible. You're exactly right. Yeah, it's flexible. And that is actually what true strength is. It's not this, I'm right, I'm strong. It's more like, I see where you're coming from, and understanding and strength, and then the ability to stand strong and to say, I'm afraid that's not working for me, And you're perfectly entitled to say what you say, but that doesn't work for me, And so when we get to that place where we can stand strong within ourselves, our whole world starts to shift. Because I can tell you, creation honors you. Creation honors this. It honors your heart. It honors your actions. And it honors them in a way that allows us to align with creation. There's a natural flow to life. And that, when we align with that, everything begins to shift. And I think any one of us, do you ever feel like you're in alignment or out of alignment? I mean, can you have a sense when you are connected? And how sometimes life just really seems to flow? And then other times you get a sense of, God, I couldn't, I can't win for trying. I mean, everything I do is coming out wrong today, And that's because we've slipped outside the circle temporarily. And it is temporary because we truly live there. That's where we're born and that's where we're destined to live. So this practice is about bringing us home. Bringing us back to that understanding of who we really are already. It's really about remembering. And I think that pretty much wraps it up. That's where we're headed as a group. And those of you that want to, join with me, I'm going to end up doing a seminar either late December, early January, where it's going to be really focused on the medicine tools and about moving. We're going to create an intention for 2015, and we're going to focus on that. And then we're going to allow that intention to percolate through the holidays and then allow it to expand. It has to take form. Intention, it can never be forced. As much as sometimes I want to do that, I want it, I'm going to go get it. It doesn't usually work that way. I have to actually take it inside me and allow it to percolate, allow it to foment inside me, and then to unfold outwards. And that'll be in line with my truth. That's how it works, at least from where my heart is. Thank you all.